What's up, YouTube? It's your boy John from Project Ellsworth, and I am back with you today to show you guys another section of my horror movie collection. Let's do it. All right, this week we are looking at row 3, section 3. It's that guy right there. Let me get those things pulled, and I will show you what I got. What's up, Mike? As always, I hope everybody out there is doing well and staying safe. Alright, I will start off by saying there's a hell of a lot of movies in this stack that I have not watched. But there are a few in here that I've seen. First up, we have The Hills Have Eyes 2. This is the original, not the remake. This is pretty good, just more of the same. Mountain men messing with people. Pretty decent movie. I don't remember this one as well as the first one, but I have seen this. Wes Craven flick. Check it out sometimes. I remember this being pretty good, but it's honestly been a while. Next up is the remake of The Hills Have Eyes. I thought this was really well made, and I'm kind of on the line of whether I like this one more than the original Wes Craven film or not. I'm really not sure. I'm like I said, I'm kind of on the fence. I tend to lean towards the original with most movies over the remake. It's definitely a more well-made film. I don't think there's any dispute in that. It definitely looks nicer, but I think I lean towards the original film more than this one. But sometimes I think it depends on which side of the bed I wake up on, or whether I like the original or the remake more here. Alright, next up is the remake of The Hills Have Eyes 2. More of the same. It's been a while since I've seen this one as well. Definitely a good movie. Definitely better looking than the original. More of the same of what I just got done saying about the remake of The Hills Have Eyes. Very good. On the fence of whether I like this one more or not. Definitely don't remember this one as well as I remember the first one. Alright. Now moving on to the movies that I have not seen. And there's some of them in here that I've seen, I believe, still. Alright. Whatever. Next, Alfred Hitchcock, The Master of the Macabre. 2-disc set. This one has, look at that, red writing on a red background. Good idea, marketing campaign or whatever. DVD 1 has Murder, and then DVD 2, side A is Sabotage, and side B is Jamaica Inn. I've never seen any of those three movies. I got this at Dollar Tree for $1. Good stuff. Next up is the Anthony Hopkins bio film called Hitchcock. Who else is in this? What's her name? Scarlett Johansson. I've been wanting to watch this for quite a while, but this is just one more of those movies that I couldn't wait to get, and then I bought it, and then I put it on my shelf and never watched it. But I heard this was actually pretty good. I know you can still find that movie out there here and there, and it's not very expensive anymore. I want to say that I saw that somewhere pretty recently, and it is not expensive. Alright, next up is The Hitcher. Have not seen it. Rutger Hauer, that's the only thing I know about it, is Rutger Hauer's in it. Been meaning to watch this movie as well. I also have the remake of The Hitcher, and I haven't watched that either. Surprise, surprise. So let's see what the original box says. When Jim Halsey stops to pick up a hitchhiker one rainy night, he is soon dying to turn back time. The man puts a knife to Jim's throat and tells him to pull past a stranded car on the side of the road. Its occupants have already been brutally slaughtered by the ominous stranger. Now a bloody game of cat and mouse is about to be played out on this desolate stretch of highway, and every car that passes and every poor soul who rides that road are going to take part whether they want to or not. Sounds pretty good. Sounds actually really good. There's C. Thomas Howell is in this as well. Jennifer Jason Leigh, C. Thomas Howell. It sounds like a really good movie. I just haven't gotten to it. And here is from the producers of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake of the Hitchhiker. Not even going to bother reading the back of this because I have to assume that it's loosely based on the original movie, and I just read that one. And I also have to assume that this is probably not as good as the first one. I've always heard that The Hitcher was really good, and I've just simply never watched it. Next up is another Man-Eater film from the Man-Eater series, The Hive. This one, I'm actually really surprised I've never watched this because that just looks like some gnarly crap that I would love right there. Unless this is a case where the box makes the movie look way better than it actually is. Flesh-eating army ants, 200 million strong, are making their way through the jungles of Brazil, devouring every little thing that's in their path. Devouring every little thing in their path. When a young scientist is called to examine the deadly demons... Examine. Good reading. When a young scientist is called in to exterminate the deadly demons, his team of experts are shocked at the strength and intelligence. The murderous ants are multiplying by the second, and humans are their bloody picnic. So it looks really good, and it definitely sounds like something I would like. I like that nasty, gnarly crap. But I probably shouldn't even watch this movie while my wife's in the house. She'll probably be able to hear the ants and freak out. I gotta watch that movie. All right, here's one I definitely saw. And if you are a fan of the Friday the 13th franchise, I tell everybody that they need to find this movie and check it out. It is the Kane Hodder documentary, To Hell and Back. This is phenomenal. It's Kane Hodder's biography. It's his life story. It explains how he got into the industry, how he received his severe burns that he received, how that it was a stunt going wrong. Talks about him in the Friday the 13th franchise, of course. That's why we all know who Kane Hodder is, pretty much. It's really, really good. Very emotional film. You definitely see a different side of Kane Hodder. This is spectacular. I got this for Christmas last year, and I've watched it 3 or 4 times. This is definitely a must-watch. If you can't find a physical copy of this, look if you can and see if you can find that streaming anywhere. It's definitely worth a watch. Absolutely, positively. Get a real good look at who the guy behind that hockey mask is in those Friday the 13th movies. It's fantastic. I very highly recommend it. Here's one that I did watch, and I wasn't real crazy about it. It's called Hold Your Breath. Very weird, in my opinion. There's not a whole lot of a write-up on the back of this movie. I remember this being... like you had to hold your... Literally, these people were in a graveyard, and you had to hold your breath, or you died, or you became possessed, or something. I don't remember exactly what this was, but I remember this not being real good. All right, let me see if I can read this teeny tiny writing here. The urban legend is true. When friends on a camping trip wander into a cemetery, the ghost of a notorious serial killer jumps from body to body, slaughtering the victims one by one. If you value your life, hold your breath. That's what it is. If you don't hold your breath and you breathe freely, the ghost of this serial killer can possess your body. But if you hold, you're basically inhaling a spirit, and that's terrible. It wasn't a good movie. I remember being very disappointed in that movie. That sat on the shelf in Best Buy. Time after time after time, I would see it there and I wouldn't buy it. Finally, one day I said, you know what the hell, I bought it. As soon as I bought it, I watched it, and I wanted to go back and put it on the shelf and get my money back. Wasn't good. All right, next up is a Blu-ray copy of Hollow. I want to say, I think I may have watched this, but I don't remember. So if I did watch it, it wasn't very memorable. An old monastery in a small remote village has been haunted by a local legend for centuries. Left in ruin and shrouded by the mysterious of a dark spirit that wills young couples to suicide, the property has been avoided for years, marked only by the decrepit old tree with an ominous hollow said to be the home of great evil. When 4 friends on holiday took local folklore, or European, take local folklore and turn it into an investigation of truth, they realize that belief in a myth can quickly materialize into reality, bringing horror to life for their small town. Sounds fantastic. I think I watched this, but I don't remember absolutely for sure. And if I did watch it, I don't remember it. So maybe I didn't watch it, and I just need to... Lord. Hollow. Moving on. All right, next up, Hollow's Grove. I know I haven't seen this. I actually think that I recently, within I'd say the last 6 months, 8 months, got this at a Dollar Tree. FBI agent is FBI agent is making a documentary about unusual happenings. He follows a young filmmaker who is shooting behind the scenes of a ghost haunting reality show featuring his friends, the Spirit and the Paranormal Investigation Team. A lot of parentheses here. They head into the next assignment in an old, abandoned, and rumored to be haunted orphanage, Hollows Grove. Most of their haunts for the show are created by their special effects technician, Bill, which is portrayed by Lance Henriksen. But what they thought to be a routine investigation is turning into a nightmare from which they cannot escape. Sounds pretty good, and Lance Henriksen's in it, so chances are this is probably a decent movie. But I know that I certainly have not watched that. Alright, next up. I did watch this, and it was pretty cool. A Horrible Way to Die. Vincent D'Onofrio, if I remember correctly, is in this movie. Is it him? I don't remember. Let me see. Dead silence here as I'm trying to read. Maybe he's not. Maybe this is not. You know what? D'Onofrio's in a movie called Chained. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, because I don't see his name on here. But anyway, this is really cool. This was a surprisingly good movie. Atmospheric, haunting, subversive horror in its most realistic level. Notorious Murder. No, it's A.J. Bowen is the name of the guy that I had in my head. It is not D'Onofrio. He was in a movie called Chained, which was awesome, and I think whatever. Notorious murderer Garrick Terrell has escaped from police custody and resumed his killing spree. His former girlfriend Sarah is a recovering alcoholic trying to put her life back together in a new town with a new man. Her past continues to haunt her, and now her ex-boyfriend is leaving a trail of slaughter in the hunt to find her. From Adam Wingard, the director of the award-winning film Pop Skull, and screenwriter Simon Barrett, comes the movie experience that is emotionally raw, disturbingly graphic, and brutally real. Prepare yourself for a horrible way to die. This was a cool movie. I suggest, if you can find this, pick it up and watch it. This, I think, was like $5 at Best Buy. Granted, that was some time ago, so it's probably not available there anymore. But if you can find that, check it out. It was pretty good. Alright, next up was a Christmas present from my wife. It is a collection of old horror movies. 50 horror classics, 50 movie pack. There's all kinds of stuff on here. So, alright, I'm going to try and rattle through these pretty fast. Carnival of Souls, Adam Age Vampire, Creature from the Haunted Sea, Nightmare Castle, Black Dragons, Invisible Ghost, One Body Too Many, White Zombie, Attack of the Giant Leeches, The Screaming Skull, Beast of Yucca Flats, The Terror, Revolt of the Zombie, Giant Gila Monster. Is it Gila Monster? Gila Monster? The Giant Gila Monster, The Fatal Hour, The Dead Men Walk, The Mad Monster, Maniac, Metropolis, The Vampire Bat, The Ape, The Monster Maker, The Killer Shrews, The Brain That Wouldn't Die, King of the Zombies. Alright, on the other side, that's just half of them. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Bluebeard, The Corpse Vanishes, Night of the Living Dead, Doomed to Die, Phantom of the Opera, The Indestructible Man, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Nosferatu, Swamp Women, The World Gone Mad, The Little Shop of Horrors, I have to assume that's the original, The Tormented, The Monster Walks, Monster from a Prehistoric Planet, The Gorilla, The Shriek in the Night, or A Shriek in the Night, Bloodlust, The Amazing Mr. X, The Last Woman on Earth, The Bat, The House on Haunted Hill, The Last Man on Earth, Dementia 13, and Phantom from 10,000 Leagues. So there is a lot to watch in this box set. I have watched several of these movies over the years. She bought this for me many, many years ago. And I've watched a lot of them. Pretty good stuff. As horror movie fans, we really should tip our cap to a lot of the movies that are on those old box sets, the old black and white stuff, the Universal stuff. There's a lot of good stuff to be seen in there. Alright, the next thing is from Dimension Extreme Horror Fest. It's a triple feature, which is Hellraiser Revelations, Children of the Corn Genesis, and Zombie Diaries 2 World of the Dead. I started to watch this Hellraiser movie in bed one night and fell asleep. I didn't finish watching it. I don't remember being too impressed with it. This is the first movie that was made with Doug Bradley not as Pinhead. So eventually I would like to go back and watch all of the Hellraiser movies. So with that, I'm definitely going to have to watch that flick. I don't know. I feel really weird about it not being Doug Bradley, but you never know. You got to give things a try. If we don't try new things, we don't ever grow or expand or any of that stuff. There's my word of knowledge for the day. All right, next up is 4 movies in a set called Horror Rises from the Grave. This is Horror Rises from the Tomb, Zombie Flesh Eater, Zombie Hell House, and Night of the Ghoul. These used to be really readily available in like Kmart, stores like that. I want to say that you could also buy these in Best Buy, if I remember correctly. I think I remember seeing them there. I know I have a few of these sets, 2 or 3 of them at least. I think that I've watched Horror Rises from the Tomb, and I think that I've watched Zombie Flesh Eaters. The other ones I'm pretty sure I haven't. Zombie Hell House and Night of the Ghoul, I'm pretty sure I haven't watched them, but you never know. Maybe I'll break this thing out. I'll find these videos and watch like all the movies on them and do like a one-off review of all 4 movies in one video. That's actually not content. Always thinking of Project Ellsworth. All right, that's it for this week. I'm going to get out of here. If you guys want to see me do a review of any of those, or just watch them and give like my quick thoughts on them and include them like in a Fright Flick Friday or what I've watched video, something like that, leave that in the comment section down below and we will certainly talk about it. I'm going to get out of here. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video and you've been enjoying my content up to this point, please do me a huge personal favor. Click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a kick-ass day. And thank you for watching. Later, folks.